I want to thank you because you are watching my channel and you let me grow. Thank you so much. Now I want to begin with a new country and continue my historian journey through all countries. Right now we are going to talking about Egypt. As always, one of the oldest countries on earth. First of all, for me, as for tourists, Egypt was always like a country just for tourism and all of that stuff. Nothing about political growth and something like that. And now we will understand together, we will see how it really goes, why it is how it is, and let's begin. First of all, Egypt is a country in Africa, and as you may know, humans were developed in Africa. 8,000 years ago people were. After climate change at that time, Sahara took its place. A lot of people from Western Africa moved to a place where Egypt is, East North Africa. All of that immigration went on the point of development, and we say that time was 1300 BC. At that time, the first kingdom of Egypt was developed by King Menes. Only the time of kingdom, development of art, culture and language started to be there. The first real dynasty became its place at 27 to 2200 BC. Pyramids, which we see now, it was from the 4th dynasty. I believe we all know Egypt for its pyramids, so let's talk about that period a bit more. Long story short, there were a lot of dynasties, and the main for us are 18th, 19th and 20th. Why I think so? Because the main pyramids, like of Tutankhamun, all of them took place at that time. All those three dynasties had economic growth, so it was pretty good one, I would say. We usually talk about the dynasties not as a kingdom, as I said before, but as an empire, because Egypt at the time was simply the biggest thing ever, from the northeast of Africa and even Asia to like the end of Red Sea. Pretty big empire, I would say. And of course, as I said, culture, language and art and architecture development was huge. After the 20th dynasty, there were some problems, so development wasn't as big as it could be. And after 13th dynasty, Persian Empire took its place. Just whole Mediterranean peninsula was under its control, so Egypt as well. So power of Persia wanted to be there, and as all kings, they wanted to have more, even more names. Only 29th dynasty was the real one. After that, 13th and so on were not real Egyptian pharaohs and king. But Persian Empire wasn't there for a long time because Alexander's empire took its place and has got Egypt as well. So at that time development of city of Alexandria took its place, and at that time development of Greek went to Egypt, especially to Alexandria, where a lot of people were, and a lot of Greeks moved, as you may remember from my previous video. After that, Ptolemaic dynasty took its place, and the last person of that dynasty was Cleopatra VI, which we always know from films about that time. And as you may remember from films, the time of Cleopatra VI was the time of Roman Empire, so that empire has got Egypt again. So from that time I would say Egypt never has got its own identity, and only in the last decade we see real independence, but but we will know how it goes really. Christianity was brought to Egypt by Saint Mark in the 1st century. The Christian religion in the 3rd century declared another era of Byzance. At that time, Egypt went out of Roman Empire. Actually, a lot of people at that time went to another religion, Christianity. After the Council of Chalcedon in 451 a distinct Egyptian Coptic church was firmly established. Long story short, Middle Ages were bad for Egypt. Really bad. They were under all empires you can imagine, and they hadn't really good economic growth. Even not growth. They have got all problems they could, all epidemics, but after that, in 15th century, you see the same picture, as bad as it was. Picture of Ottoman Empire. At that time, they went through a lot of famines, and a lot of people died. They just couldn't eat. For a country like Egypt, where they have a lot of fruits, it just, for me, was unbelievable information. And all of that was because Egypt was under control of empire. After the Napoleonic expansion went out of Egypt by Muhammad Ali Pasha. Muhammad Ali Pasha was military person. Because of that, we can see his own dynasty in Egypt. And it's kinda sucks, because again, someone did everything for Egypt and Egypt itself hasn't control. In 1952, Muhammad Ali went through a lot of wars. And of course, as I said, Egypt hasn't a lot of power, even they died because of famines. How we can imagine that they will go somewhere and kill anybody? Of course not, they couldn't. So we see that he lost everything, and a lot of contradiction went in that place. But as I said, Muhammad Ali Pasha did his own dynasty, and his sons, grandsons did, no, I wouldn't say very good job, and that economic growth was amazing and absolutely phenomenal. Not, of course not, but they went out of slavery in 19th century, so for a country like Egypt without huge economy like in the UK or France, it was pretty good actually. Other than that, they did good job in science and architecture. Kinda okay. The world goes and they go with that, you know what I mean? As I said, Muhammad Ali went out of Egypt and he wasn't really Egyptian king. He went from Ottoman Empire, so he did very good job with their emperors and in pretty good state, a province without any big and strong thesis and all of that stuff. Kinda good at that place, I would say. At the end of 19th century, French and England wanted to continue their expansion in the world, and they knew that they can make a canal through Africa and Asia, so they did it, the Suez Canal. And Egypt definitely had the money for making so big and expensive project, so the rest of money were from Europe. And because of that, Egypt hadn't rights for that canal, and because of that, they couldn't stop, they couldn't make thesis for that. It was under control of England and French governments. After that, British went inside Egypt very strongly, that every political situation was under control of the UK. They went again under control of someone. Again, the UK at that time, I would say, was kind of empire, so again under empire and no economic growth, because just even government was under control of other country. It was very bad and I really feel bad about that country, because like huge history, one of the biggest, even biggest history maybe, and through whole history from the present day, we see how bad it was for them and they couldn't even grow. The same thing was Greece, as you may saw in my channel. And all of that, I just feel like badly, seriously badly. How better would the world be if we created the world without wars, where Greece, Italy, Egypt just grow, and what science and all of that stuff could be. Maybe we could be on Mars or in other galaxies. Maybe I overthinking about that, but when we really understood that the Earth is not a flat, it's not a plate, you know what I mean? When we went to that thinking, just 3, 4, 500 years ago, but 2000 years ago, the scientists from Greece and Egypt said especially that. So we just lose 1500 years for nothing, for religion. Sucks, serious. But let's continue, just my thoughts, you know. Through the next 50 years, 1990s to 1960s, Egypt was under British control. Because of that, in the World War II, a lot of British armies were in Egypt and they defeated Suez Canal because they wanted to have access to Indian and to Australia that could help them, and did it. That's the reason. In 1952, the first Republic of Egypt was created, but again it was under control of Britain and just political game, you know what I mean? That good picture that no one knew about. Or I don't know, I wasn't there at that time, so maybe people knew about that. But just great picture for the world again sucks, seriously. After 4 years, in 1956, Egypt was totally under its own control. They declared good relationship with the US, not with Russia and communists. Because of that, Egypt's politics went to Western world. In 1958, Syria and Egypt united Arab Republic, and they did it for the future war with Yemen. After that, Egypt went to another war, and war with Israel, and they got pretty bad with that. So in 1980s, they went to agreement with Israel. From that time, they did a pretty good relationship with each other. In 1970, pretty bad president died, and another president went to place, but he wasn't even better. So Hosni Mubarak created his own dynasty, his own brotherhood, and because of that he did what he wanted to do actually. In 1990s, terrorist attacks were all around Egypt and it was unsafe. All society went crazy and everyone really was scared. And only in 2011 they went out on the streets. Only 30 years after that president took place, they really go out of it. In 2012, very good democratic president took the place, and he was Field Marshal Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. In 2014, just the beginning of his job career, he had to fight with his previous opponent, with Brotherhood of Marshani. It's absolutely crazy for me personally. Only now Egypt is independent and safe place. After the history of the state, I want to tell you what we can do, and we can travel to Egypt. Your idea to go to Egypt, see the pyramids, and that's it. It shouldn't take place because Egypt has absolutely different and gorgeous things to do and see. And first of all, for me, it's related to pyramids, its temples and other structures. One of them is Abu Simbel Temple complex. It's absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of Jordan, and its structures and complex like that. Definitely very good place to go. You should go there with old style camera. I really bet you will get crazy pictures. Other than that, I really recommend you to go to a Jeep tour. It's absolutely phenomenal. Other than the tour, you should stay there to a night and get absolutely crazy views from stars. Again, you should have very good camera to get those photos. But without camera, you will get absolutely amazing feelings and keep it for yourself. Very good way as well. And I couldn't go out of Egypt without mentioning sea corals and diving. Gorgeous corals are in the Red Sea, so it's absolutely crazy destinations for every diver all around the world. It's very affordable, pretty easy to go there, check it out. Even if you're not a diver, just take a yacht, have some swimming, fishing. It will be gorgeous, seriously. So at the end of the day, Egypt is absolutely have to travel for every visitor. Go there. Don't lose your opportunity to see the world. The history of Egypt will be with us. Please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and stay curious as you are.